Hi YouTube. In this video I'm going to talk about this book written by Mark Klistler. It's called You Can Draw It in Just 30 Minutes, See It and Sketch It in a Half Hour or Less. Let's check it out. Okay, well, I was pretty happy to receive this book. I was kind of curious as to the approach that Mark here uses to get a person directly into drawing. He discusses that one of the biggest problems that aspiring artists have is that they get self-conscious and they have this self-doubt, and it just becomes a creativity killer. And so what happens is you end up staring at a piece of paper, you got a pencil in your hand, and you just sit there and go, I don't know if I can do this, or I don't know what to do, and then you just don't go anywhere. So what he's done is he's developed this concept where he wants to get you drawing right away. And so what he's done is he's given you these you might say this blueprint on how to get started from whatever it is that you're going to draw, in that you're just going to quickly jot down geometrical shapes that represents whatever it is that you're going to draw. And so you'll have squares, circles, triangles, rectangles, ovals, these kind of shapes, and that's going to just roughly represent what it is. And then what he does is he gives you time limits, and so that you have X amount of time, like 5 or 10 minutes, that you've got to put the geometric shapes down. I think it's like 5 minutes. And then from there you get into where you start to refine the shapes into more of what they're supposed to look like, since everything doesn't really look like rectangles and squares and triangles, but have those kind of shapes kind of in there, but with curves and smoothness and whatever. So you're going to kind of refine that. And then he also includes these hacks, and that is these little cheats that you have to where you can get to drawing a lot of these things quickly. Like, for example, in the first chapter he deals with a banana, which I'm going to show you the banana I did. And you could use your hand as a hack and just kind of draw around it, and there's your banana. And then you could just draw some rectangles and triangles and whatever, and then start to refine all that. And the whole idea with the hacks is it's kind of to help you more accurately place the parts of your drawing on the page, utilizing whatever you have around. If you've got say a saucer, you can draw circles with it, or a coin. Whatever, you might call those cheats, but all artists use tools. And if you have objects around that you can use to draw something that's close to the shape that you want, well, then why not use it? So he talks about that. Now, in each one of the chapters in this book, there's 4 things basically that he covers. First off, he starts off with a personal anecdote. So you get a little story up front, and then there's a photo of the object, a list of tools that you're going to need, pencil, eraser, blender, whatever, to do that particular 30-minute task. And then he gives you a list of the particular shapes that you are going to be using for that. So for example, here for the banana, he has some drawing tools, a pencil, eraser, paper, of course. And then you can use your hand as a hack. He gives a little bit of an anecdote up here in the top. Some other little saying or something down here. He shows you the shapes. Here's the photo, here's the shapes. Okay. And then in each chapter, you're to first read the 2 pages that follow and get an idea of what it is that he wants you to understand, like how to do the the shape, the darkening parts, and how to do the curves and how to refine, then you get right into the timing. And here's a 10 minutes to draw real quickly with an oval and with a diamond and with a triangle, I should say, and a couple of rectangles, whatever, and it becomes the peel and whatever. And you're to do it within that time or less. And then he gets you to start shaping the shapes that you put down. So you put down the different geometric shapes. Now you've got to start giving them their form. Then you start to look at where the light is and start to shade, a lot of shading here until you finally get to the final product. And they give you a page here in each chapter where you can actually do your drawing. I prefer, of course, not to draw in my book, but to draw outside of it. So here I did the banana one, which is the first one. Now I have to say that because I'm already, very much into drawing what I see, and I draw from a reference, and I'm a very detailed person. While I was following this, I couldn't help myself to incorporate what I already know with this, and so that in itself kind of skews things a little bit. So I have to tell you that, for those of us who are already, drawing regularly, and we don't find ourselves having trouble, putting pencil to paper and being frozen or self-conscious, or having any self-doubt, that we're going to end up taking it beyond what is being suggested in here. And as far as these timings, the first one was 10 minutes. I had it done in a minute, 2 minutes. It didn't take any long to sit there and draw a banana shape and then put a couple of triangles and then a couple of rectangles like so, and then you had this kind of an oval thing coming down here like so. And so I was able to, as you can see, there's my shapes already. You can see that right there. It took, 10 seconds, and I've already got something that resembles a banana using rectangles, triangles, what I know is the shape of a banana somewhat, or you can use your hand and just kind of do that, or that's one of the hacks. And then this is kind of an ovalish shape here, which I think in this particular shape it was kind of a stretch. But hey, there are no hard and fast rules that you can't do something slightly different if you know that it is going to help you get started drawing, because the whole idea is to get it on paper as quick. And this part you're going to do lightly, and then you're going to start to refine. You're going to use your eraser and so forth, and you're going to start rounding out the edges, okay, and then make everything look not so much like a triangle and a rectangle, but more ovalish, and however else this thing is going to look, okay? And also, he mentions in this particular example here to, draw a line 1/3 down, so it gives you this reference as to where these items here are to be drawn. And then as far as this oval thing, it's actually supposed to be halfway down the banana, which was down here, which is what I did right here, as you can see. So there's my banana. I've never drawn a banana before. It might be the last banana I'll ever draw. I just did it for the sake of this book for you guys. And here is a clip real quick of me drawing this banana. while I was following the instructions for the most part, because again, my brain kind of kept kicking in and I kept trying to get all perfection and stuff, and then, you know, I have to start that way to finish that way. So unfortunately, this doesn't look as banana. This is more drawing banana rather than realistic banana for me. And the whole idea though is to get you to just draw something, and then if you want to keep refining it and refining it and refining it, it's going to take more than 30 minutes, of course. But if you can see from the cover of this book, in 30 minutes you're going from geometric shapes to this frog. You can tell that while that is a wonderful drawing of a frog, it's not a realistically looking frog in the sense that it's not photorealistic, which is the world I kind of like to be in personally. So I would keep working on this banana, get the shading correctly, and continue working on it until it looks like you can somewhat reach in there, grab it, and eat it. But as far as something that took me no more than 15 minutes to draw, because of, you know, utilizing this really quick, fast-paced approach of drawing these little shapes. And I found this kind of interesting because I don't draw with shapes. I don't use rectangles and triangles and stuff. I just draw what I see, but that's me. So I think that this is really, really a good way to get people who just have trouble getting started or just feel like I can't draw. Well, yes, you can draw. I always said, hey, if Rix can do it, you can do it. But this book here by Mark Klistler, I believe can help many of you to get going right away, to get something on that paper that looks really good, that you'll be happy with. And then if you want to refine and get better and better, well, that comes with practice. And then you can start making things more and more and more realistic if that's your goal. Many people want to stop at this level right here, for example, the more animated cartoon type thing, and that's fantastic. You could make comic books, animated things, you know, the cards for the movies, whatever. It's one way to get you going. And so there you go. You can draw it in just 30 minutes, see it and sketch it in a half hour or less. And yep, at least for me, it was definitely less than a half an hour. So if Rix can do it, so can you. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you liked this review. If so, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.